Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another awesome stream. Hopefully it's going to be awesome. We're just going to sketch a little bit, like we already did sometimes. And then probably tomorrow we'll see the entries. I think we got at least 3 entries, if I'm not mistaken, for the Monster Challenge. And then, I don't know, we're going to be off for a while, so that's it. Let's go. So I've got a few sketches here. I was just warming up a while ago, not very meaningful. I'm gonna do something with my Duel Masters inspiration. I'm just gonna keep them on the side and try to figure something out. I'm not gonna use ChatGPT this time, obviously. Probably not a good idea. I'm gonna go with silhouettes actually, because I don't know exactly what I wanna do. Just various random monsters. Just trying to find some interesting forms. It's pretty rainy today. It's kind of humid, so I got that hideous cough back. Okay, this is some sort of crab monster with a tail. These could be pincers, maybe. It could also have horns here, maybe. Maybe some horns. And you can have this part be like a crab. I don't like the back though. I think it's got some potential, so let's see. Hello, Mr. Industrial Media Chase. How are you doing? So there is it's like a shellfish of some kind. Some sort of lobster. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's got these spikes or spines on the back. It's a real thing, actually. I'm thinking about that. Maybe. Just some sort of lobster monster, I guess. Oh, something like that for now. Let's leave it. If we go and use the hard round. Tooth problems. That sucks. I am awfully familiar with the pain myself. In fact, I have one of my wisdom teeth that's pretty much impossible to remove, and I'm gonna have to have actual surgery to take it out somehow. But it's complicated because it's like nestled on a nerve, like on one of the ends of the trigeminal nerves. So I risk losing, like not paralyzing, but losing sensitivity to the bottom of my mouth if it breaks for some reason. And so I didn't do it yet, and I don't think I ever will if I can avoid it. And I always, when I draw this kind of creature, I always tend to add spikes on the shoulders. I'm gonna do that. Maybe this is different. Yeah, I have 2 molars giving me issues right now. I'd like to just extract them. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hate the post-extraction feeling. I had to take painkillers for 3 days because it was too painful. And the bleeding was also very annoying, like the disgusting feeling in your mouth for days and days and days. I guess it's better if they're below, but mine were both the ones I took out last winter. They were both above, so not very nice. It's gonna keep bleeding for a long time. At least one of them did. In fact, they used, for the second one, they used very little stitches, very few stitches, and so it just kept bleeding like a lot for an hour or so, or 1.5, and so I had to call them and go back because it was really not enough. Actually take good care of my teeth. Brush 2-3 times a day. Floss, but poor choices in youth caught up. Family genetics is hard to overcome. Yeah. My teeth are pretty good overall. I lost one because I had just moved and I didn't have access to a dentist. And so I'm like, okay, you know, I had cavities. I'm like, okay, well, it's not a big deal, unless it became a big deal. It started bleeding and it was too late to save the tooth. But overall, I still have all my teeth, apart from this plastic one. So I brush my teeth, I think, let's see, 3-4 times a day, depending on how many times I eat. Oh, thank you for following, Mr. Chemical 905. Thank you. Highly appreciate. I don't know if I want to add a tail to this thing. Probably not. I'm gonna do it without tail. Usual glowing things in the center of the chest, obviously. You know what? I think I'm gonna add teeth here. Just teeth. Sorry, I love lurking and watching stuff like this. Looks really cool. Thank you. No worries. No worries, I lurk sometimes too. It's a chill day today. Not doing anything particularly complicated. Just sketching a little bit. Yeah, just teeth here and then void or something black. Hello, Mr. Just J. Hello. Thank you. I wouldn't really call this design since it's mostly random. I hate the little nasty doggy cough that I keep having every now and then after I had COVID. It's so frustrating. It's like I don't have a cough, but I feel like I have to cough. Reminds me of the Zerg from StarCraft, not familiar with it. And play StarCraft. Or maybe I did many years ago, but not extensively. He's a fatty boy. Fat and short, I guess. I'm just gonna leave the feet like that. I don't care for now. It's just a sketch. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I find that somewhat, just strictly shape-wise, I find it a little easier to use this brush because I don't get caught up with trying to make it look like something, like trying to make the drawing look like something. And so I generally come up with things that are a little more interesting. Mainly because I've been doing drawings out of things forever. Actually, let me show you, since it's a chill stream anyway. I once drew a monster from a piece of grapefruit. That's kind of stupid, but I see monsters pretty much everywhere. I see them in tile motifs, I see them in wallpaper motifs, clouds, obviously, decorations on carpets or whatever it is. Ah, there you go. Wait, is it getting it? Yes. There you go. I also made evolutions of this. I don't have them on this computer, but this is what I do sometimes. I just see a monster. That clearly is some sort of embryo. Right? You cannot unsee it if you see this thing. It clearly looks like this is an eye. Clearly. And these are like little disgusting, I don't know, legs. And this is a stinger. Right, this. So, and that's like some sort of, I don't know, maybe fire or something else. But it's cool to draw monsters from other things, even cloud formations, yes. Exactly. I have one. You know what? I'm gonna look for this too because it's too cool. I was driving back home. I was in Japan, and I think when was it? Was it February? No, cannot be. May, because I had been to Watts already. And I saw this cloud that totally looked like a minion, like a not a minion like that movie, like a minion of some sort with a pike. And I hope I can find it because it's very weird. Let's see. Come on. I have, okay, what if I look for cloud? It should be pretty good at identifying things. So if I look for cloud on Google Photos, oh, there you go. Ah, there you go. Now you tell me that this is not a guy or some sort of blob monster with a lance. Come on. This is ludicrously similar to a guy of some sort with the pike, obviously without the head. But and that's just a cloud. I swear it's not CGI. It's not modified. It's just a weird cloud. And I always do this, so very cool. And that's why I do this with the bigger brush, because it helps me kind of visualize things that I did not intend to draw. Exactly. Maybe I have some idea, yeah, but something else more interesting might come out of a blob. Zeus prepping a lightning bolt also. There are obviously things that get lost, but I mean, when you turn this into an actual drawing, but the feeling of freedom of doing this, you're gonna lose all of the dynamism when you turn this into an actual drawing, finished thing. Maybe I'm gonna take that, and this is gonna have a lance. Of some sort. Shape design is a big thing. Very big. When you draw a monster, at least for me. I guess because I'm spoiled by all those old school RPGs that had sprites, so they obviously had to have some good pose and overall silhouette. Yeah, I've already done a Lancer Dragon some time ago, some draconic thing, not exactly a dragon, but the only risk here, as you can see, is that at some point it's too wild, so it's hard to make things make sense. Kind of hard. I don't even know if I want this. Oh, maybe it doesn't have... Maybe these are not even... They're not the arms. The arms are here. It's like crossing the arms. Oh, I like this thing. Crossing the arms. Very cool. A little fatty, but that's fine. And it's got these spikes on the back. I don't know. Proto wings. It flies because it's got some magical power, I guess, psychic power. And or maybe it's got these membranes here. Can glide probably. Like physically glide but fly with psychic powers. I don't know if it makes sense at all. And again, it doesn't. It just has to look kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. And I might reuse these at some point as a creature for anything, really. Since I drew the T-Rex skull, not drew, but I worked on the T-Rex skull in the other streams, in the past streams, maybe I can, let's see if we can try to make some sort of, I had this idea for a monster pack. It would have been like a Wastelands pack, and I would add a dinosaur, Dragon Bones monster of some sort. I didn't have an actual idea for the looks. I know there are many Dragon Bones monsters in several games. There'd probably been something. I don't know. I don't have an idea right now for it. I'm not really into it, but I can try to figure out maybe a generic shape. How it would have been. And I'm trying to use as many gesture lines as I possibly can so that it doesn't feel static. Okay, this one feels static a little bit. The pack I bought before has one. Yeah, it's pretty common. It's pretty common. I mean, at this point, there are so many that it's kind of hard to make one with original monsters. And also, these are classics. This is a classic RPG monster thing. Oh, Emperor Cheese is walking. Motivate you. Look up so that you do not hit someone or something or fall into a manhole. Emperor Cheese is walking. Oh, could be something like this. It's just a head. Was it dinosaur bones or was it... Where is it? What? You really fell into a manhole? Like, just like kind of fell or actually fell into it? Whole body into it? That sounds awful and very dangerous. Where was it? My drawings, projects, RPG monsters. Where's my... Oh, there you go. Wastelands. Oh, Dragon Bones, yes. It was supposed to be the boss. And the others are... I cannot tell you because they're secret. Yeah, I've got a lot here. Okay, no, wait. I did the desert pack. So technically in my roadmap, it's just the Wastelands left. And Desert Pack 2 also, but that only has one idea in there. So I would need 6. This one has 4. Well, 2 missing. Maybe one day. Not whole body, but I went to a gas station. And when I came back, I stepped on one. My whole leg shot down. Oh, God. That is dangerous. Something out of Looney Tunes, yeah. Yeah, except in real life you get actually hurt. You actually get hurt. So, unfreaking fortunately. And you're still hurt after the credits. Something like this. I don't know, just leave it there. I have a sketch somewhere. I should have a sketch of the Dragon Bones. Unfortunately, I don't know where. And I didn't name the file, so I don't think I'm going to be able to find it again. Sadly. Yeah, I was holding a drink and spilled it. Somebody saw me and laughed as she walked by. She laughed? That's pretty stupid of her. I mean, clearly it's not like a person sitting on a chair and breaking it. that might be mildly funny. I'm saying this just because it happened to me or someone I know actually, and so I laughed that time. But it also helped the person. This is not funny. God. Yeah, it sounds fairly painful. To be honest, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that to happen to me. Yeah, it sounds funny visually if it happens in a cartoon, but I don't think it would seem funny in person because you see the actual human being being hurt. So, I don't know. Although, okay, some things look funny. Like sometimes I would watch those fail videos, and some of those things look funny. They are funny, but they also look painful. So, like people falling from their bicycles, or motorbikes, or skis, and that is painful. I know because I fell from a bike once, and I punched a hole in my knee. Like literally, it was a hole. It was a hole in my knee because I destroyed the patellar ligament, and I could see my patella, and the tibia inside. That was painful. So I know it's painful. I don't think that was funny because it was kind of lame. It just slipped, like the bike just slipped and fell on my leg. Like the spoke, like with their spokes attached in the center, there's like a screw. It's something like a bolt. And it just penetrated into my knee. That was very painful. I don't care. She laughed, but she offer to help. Yeah, that's the worst part. I mean, at least she could have offered to help. But hey, people. Man, I wish I could draw mechas or mechs. I prefer to say mechas than mechs. Well, one day probably, because I'd like to draw something like a Metal Gear. I tried, as you probably remember from last week's old stuff. Where is it? Was it here? Was it visible? No, it was something around here. It's not visible here, but I had something that looked kind of like a Metal Gear. It was actually a Metal Gear. So it was just very bad. Yeah, there was a guy in a video who fell down the stairs in a wheelchair. I don't know if I could laugh at that though. I don't know if I could laugh at that. I would have to see the video. Because he's in a wheelchair. I mean, if in other circumstances maybe. Not sure about the wheelchair. That's rough, man. Jeez. Oh yeah. I mean, they're also like sometimes those failed videos, or usually they're constructed in a way that make you laugh anyway. Even if you would not probably laugh in real life if you saw that. Probably. Yeah, this is not good because it's good. I cannot add the. I don't know. I gotta think about it. He was okay. Well, you don't know. You don't know if he was okay. Ever since I tried drawing my Strike Freedom Gundam, I started doing this for all of my slightly humanoid drawings. So I do like a sort of diamond shape for the chest, and maybe that's not clear. I do something like this for the chest, basically. I know it doesn't have that shape, but it happened when I drew it. I tried drawing it once. Thank God it's stuck with me. So every time now I'm trying to draw something that vaguely has a torso, like I did with the kaiju, it's got this thing. You have good judgment. Yeah, I hope. So it's that, and then the obviously Gundam-ish things. They're like wings. Man, I like this stuff so much. I don't know, this could be some sort of drone, maybe. Some kind of... Yeah, it could be some drone. Oops. Chase also probably is noticing that I used this shape for one of his monsters. This form, I should say. I keep saying shape, but it's actually a form because it's three-dimensional. Shape is usually 2D. 2D. Oh, something like that. There you go. Little ugly fellow. That was a cool monster. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. How funny. How funny. That's a dad joke. It's like, oh, what was the most no, let me rephrase this. Who was the first Final Fantasy character that anticipated social media? Well, obviously Selphie. Ha! That's another dad joke for you. Instagram precursor, Selphie Tillman. The Patriots. That's a Lalilulelo.
You suck.
I mean, since we're telling dad jokes. I should, you know, this thing I'm doing now, just drawing random monsters, comes even more difficult, or is even more difficult for me, because I haven't really been playing any, or say, I haven't been consuming monster-containing media recently. So I felt much less compelled to draw monsters if I am not consuming that sort of media. Like, obviously I get very inspired if I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Much less so if I play Magic. I would definitely be inspired if I watched some of those horrible kaiju movies. I did not get inspired when I watched the Godzilla ones, though. Or at least, okay, I got inspired when I watched Shin Godzilla and the Godzilla anime, like 3D anime. That was kind of inspiring, but not the Western Godzilla movies, no. Certainly not King of the Monsters. Very uninspiring for me. Sophie is a really annoying character to me. She is. I don't really understand the point of her character in the game. There isn't. Much like everybody else, pretty much. Like, well, we have no relationship, but let's pretend that 10-ish, whatever, 15 years ago, we were all together in this orphanage. Just, just cause. But we forgot about it. We all forgot about it because of the GF. Uh-huh. Okay. Okies. That's a bit of a weak plot, in my opinion. Obviously, I gotta add membranes here. Lots of membranes. This is pretty bad. The Godzilla anime is pretty good. Yeah, it's not really a series of Godzilla movies, and that's why some people didn't like them. I don't know. I think it was okay, apart from the ending, probably, but it was okay. Some parts were actually good, and I liked the overall struggle. You really did feel the helplessness of people facing this huge monster, which is something that you don't feel at all in the MonsterVerse movies, in my opinion. Emperor Cheese says, I still have a hard time accepting each Final Fantasy takes place in their own world. Why? If you think of them as more speculative science fiction, it is better, I guess. Why, Cheese? I mean, it's just a name for the series. There are several actual issues with them that are not related to the naming. I mean, Dragon Quest games, apart from a couple, maybe 3, they all take place in different worlds too. And Star Ocean 2 also. Not Star Ocean 2, Star Ocean 2. Most of the RPGs, actually, I think. It would be cool if they were connected and to add some consistency. Well, they have some connecting things like chocobos and moogles and the summons. But that's true for all of the... not all, but for a lot of games. Even Xenoblade. The Xenoblade games are not related to each other. I don't think it's a matter of consistency, it's just a name, really. I don't have a problem with that, because I don't care about the name of the game. They're very different games, like each of them is very different from the others. In fact, when they started making them connected like Final Fantasy X-2 or Lightning Returns or Final Fantasy 13-2, that's when it started really going bad. So yeah, not really bothered, but so because I would think it would be okay. The chicken, that's all. No, it's not just that. Are you upset? It's just that they have common elements. Like in Dragon Quest, you got, well, I mean, in that game, even the music is pretty much the same across the games, but the world is different. You got the same monsters, same names for the monsters, and the summons for Final Fantasy. And some characters. Okay, some characters have the same names, like Sid, Biggs and Wedge. Although not in all of them, but after 7, at least. Yeah, I don't think that would be a valid point to take it down. I mean, if the only reason why you're not playing Final Fantasy game is that, that doesn't seem very valid. You can say you don't like them, that's fine, but not playing them because they're not connected despite having the same name? I hate naming conventions though, like with Bravely Default 2nd and then Bravely Default 2. Yeah, well that's another thing. Like, I don't know what they were doing. Because Bravely 2nd is connected. I didn't play it. I played a demo only. I didn't play Bravely Default 2 either. So I only played the first one and finished it. So 2nd is related to the first one, but Bravely Default 2 is another game. Completely different game. Which, I mean, I don't mind. It's just in this case, it's weird because it is not related, and it's called Bravely Default 2. They could have chosen just another name. Bravely Adventure. I don't know. It just sounded laughable and confused people when they first revealed the title. Yeah, understandable. Because they had already made a title. I mean, a game with a title that was similar. So this Dragon Bones thing. It kind of looks like this is a sternum here, and it's like taking a bath. Oh god. Whatever. Let me just go completely random now. 100%. Jabba the Hutt-ish. I don't know if it's better or worse than Kingdom Hearts names, though. Oh well. The problem with Kingdom Hearts is just that once let me use the Lazy Nizumi here. Once Sakaguchi left, it was already a mess and a giant marketing thing, obviously. Like, oh, let's take these two things that have nothing to do with each other and put them together. Strangely enough, in a decent game. But the problem from there on was that they just completely ignored the roots and just started going ballistic. Like, why are the Final Fantasy character not in the 3rd? Characters that bothered me a lot. That's why I didn't play it. Because I cared about, I don't know, what happens to Sephiroth and Cloud and Leon and blah blah, but that has been completely removed in the 3rd, so. I could use something out of an insect here. It's like a middle finger. uh, let me get an image here. Let me go Pinterest. The first game was really good. A tight, easy to understand story with good gameplay. Yeah, the sequel had better gameplay, yes, and a more mature story, but certain elements were starting to go into crazy territory. I felt like it was weaker, honestly, Kingdom Hearts 2. It didn't feel very cohesive as the first one did, honestly. Why did my phone buzz? I don't know. Oh, I forgot to turn off that home phone right now. Just in case. Because I don't go. I don't want to start London bridging while I'm streaming. Anyway, yeah, the first game took a while for me to take off. Like, I wholeheartedly hated the Alice in Wonderland world. That was bad. I hated it, every second of it. And so I'm like, I don't want to play this game. But a friend of mine said, hey, I'm interested. Why don't you keep playing it? Because he was coming at my place and he was like, hey, can we play Kingdom Hearts? I'm like, okay. But then it became more interesting. So, not bad. Not bad, yeah. I really dig the Hollow Bastion thing. Like the whole level, very cool. And when they went to the end of the worlds, plural, also very cool. I hated Alice in Wonderland's world in Kingdom Hearts. Jeez, that's what I said. Like, even the music was getting to my nerves, honestly. I don't mind the darker elements of 2, but to me, some of the plot points started to become muddled. Yeah, not totally out there, but you could see it was beginning of a confusing mess of a story. Yeah, and again, I found that some of the worlds were weaker in general. Like the Mulan, that had so much potential, but they wasted it. They could have done something very good with the Mulan world, but I felt like it was pretty weak. And I don't know, I had this feeling like everything was kind of stitched together. I don't know, just a feeling I had while playing it. And I was looking forward to playing it. I got the limited edition. It was maybe not a limited edition, but the box art was like a foil. I was very excited about it, and so maybe I was too hyped, and then I got disappointed, I guess. I was looking for something else though. Caterpillar. I don't know. I can't speak of Kingdom Hearts too much. But I played the third one, and it was corny as hell. I didn't play, and I will not play the third one, as I said, because it looks way off the initial idea, very, very far from the initial idea. Especially those attractions, summons. God, how can you even think you can put that in a game? Come on. One thing they never liked, honestly, personally, in the first one was summons. Like, why don't you give me a damn summons from Final Fantasy instead of you get no Final Fantasy world, so give me the summons. Don't give me the Disney worlds and the Disney summons, because I don't want to summon Simba or the genie of the lamp. I don't care. That was really, really disappointing. This could be developed into something else. Not too bad, just a simple monster. Simple bug of some sort. He picked a difficulty level that made him rage quit the game. Some parts of Kingdom Hearts were hard. Sephiroth was a hard fight. Although it was optional. Okay, enough with this. First game had a corniness, but it was about a kid trying to save his friends. I'm okay with that, yeah. Having Woody from Toy Story talk about fighting the darkness is, well, I would have to agree. Here, Nemo, would you like to hold Chase while I eat my snack? What? So the Baynug is Chase? Well, now Chase is a Baynug. Or a Bunog. Oh. A Ba. Ba like Ba. No. I guess you're more. It's easier. It's easier to appreciate Kingdom Hearts the original if you played it when you're younger. I played it when I was 14, 15, so it was still playable for me. Nowadays, I don't know if I would actually play it as a new game. I don't know, because I became very mean, and the fact that they so easily talk about friendship, like, oh hey, I just met you, we're all friends, we're gonna save each other's lives now. Like, probably not. But that's me. That's my own limit. This is my own limitation. The wooden animations didn't help. I know you can't pull and stretch a character like in animated movies, but I regret to inform you have slaughtered many Baynug in playtesting. Oh, that's very sad to hear. I'm gonna call the EPA. No, AP. What's it called? Animal Protection and something. EP what? What's that called? I'm using a reference for this just because I found a cool photo of a wolf, so I want to see if I can come up with something interesting. If not, so be it. This could be. This could be. Doesn't have to be a wolf. Just take the pose and use it to make a draconic dragon. In fact, that's what most people do. They just take a pose from either a wolf, a cat, a lion, and then you use it. They copy it. They copy the skeletal parts, or the gesture of the pose, and then turn into a dragon. Very common. I don't know, I haven't invested much in games. I haven't invested much. Is games much? Okay. So I have to play Persona and Dead Space came out a few days ago. I want that. I'm kind of fun with kids talking about the power of friendship. Less so where you have teenagers 20 years old. Yeah. Also, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe the problem with the second is also that Sora is old. Everyone is older, but they still behave the same way. So. Cheesy. Cheese is being cheesy. Does that mean that I am the bomb, Chase is the Baynug, and you are the Jigglypuff? The training Jigglypuff? Do you have such a low self-esteem? I mean, I'm okay with being the bomb, I guess. I'm explosive. But I don't know if I would be okay being Jigglypuff. Unless I am Jigglypuff. All round creatures. That's just because they well fit the emoji format. It's kind of hard to get something that's not round or square as an emoji. The emojis. This kind of, no. I guess so. Low self-esteem? What the heck are you talking about? Oh, well, I wouldn't like to be a Jigglypuff. A Jigglypuff is lame. Who wants to be a Jigglypuff? In all seriousness. Not me. Oof. Man. This is so lopsided. So freaking lopsided. This leg should probably go, yeah, forward a bit. And this is probably correct here. How about Pichu? Oh god. Man up, bro. Man up. Where it becomes paper thin? I guess it's a balloon. Oh, Jigglypuff. We have questions about its anatomy, I guess. Well, since we are lucky, we have an actual specimen of a Jigglypuff here. That is Cheese. You can examine him or her, and see how it looks like. Pokemon do have internal anatomy. I saw this some time ago. Who posted it? Someone posted it on the Discord, I think. So, see, they do have anatomy. How about whale? Whale Mar or Whale Lord? or Weimar Republic, the Republic of Weimar. That's history, so it should probably be banned as it's knowledge. Nobody should know about that. Because knowledge is bad, and history is bad, and knowing things is dangerous. Yeah, this should probably be. This should have been. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, Citadel. Yes. No. I mean, why would you be extremely dangerous? Because you know a lot of things. I just meant to say that knowledge is dangerous because the more you know, and the less you should know, according to nowadays' culture. It's dangerous for you, so you shouldn't do it. It can give you powers such as independent thought and independent ideas and free will, like learning how to exercise it. So that's very dangerous. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't entertain yourself with such dangerous activities, such as thinking by yourself without relying on outside sources and forming an informed idea of things that are going on in the world. Yeah, I would like to bend the tail backwards, though, honestly. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. It's like a demonic dog of some sort. Demonic dog. Front-facing battler. Look at that. There you go. Did I? Yeah, I drew those on the same layer. I try to fix this. Because I wanted to make a dragon with a long neck. But this might be too much. Wait, when are the kaijus due? Today. Today's the last day, so... If you didn't finish yours, it's fine. You can just submit what you have. Maybe I'm gonna sculpt on it. You know what? I've got ZBrush now. I'm gonna sculpt on it if you share it. If you send me the OBJ. Or the Z project, probably. That would be cool. Because everyone else submitted a drawing, obviously. I think we got 3. I think. You're stuck on it anyway. Okay, yeah, just send it over. Please do not expect me to sculpt anything better than you did. But I can just sculpt on it for fun. And tell you what I think overall. But to avoid getting stuck, I think it's a very much better idea to just draw it first. To think it out first. Even just a sketch like these. So you can... Like, I would, you know, I could sculpt this thing very quickly now that I have it. It's not very complicated. So, if I remember how to use these spheres, which I don't. But usually you want to rest from drawing. Yeah, that's understandable. I am also resting from drawing pretty much every day now because I'm preparing stuff, so I'm like very mentally drained. But I like sketching like this because it's like, hey, you know what? I'm just sketching. I don't care about the result. I'm just drawing things. I turn off the part of my brain that makes me stop if it doesn't look good, or depresses me if it doesn't look good, and I just draw. It's very, very liberating sometimes to do this. I would like it to have some like two. Man, I've got a sore neck. Two like fuel pipes, sort of on the side of the neck. Fuel lines. I don't know, something like this. So this would be like this and this and this, and obviously the back needs some sort of draconic spine. Be a classic drag. I mean, the process is the same: sculpt or pencil. I use them both for sketching. I know. I mean, if you want to design something, I think it's probably easier and quicker to just you're immediately gonna see the issues if you draw it, probably. I don't know, that's just how I work, at least. So I would rather have a sketch that's very, very quick, much quicker than a sculpt, and see if it works or not, because it can work out the silhouette and various parts. I see what you're saying, but really the same process. Nice shapes and play with them. ZBrush, okay. I would just figure it takes longer if you have to sculpt it. And I'm a great proponent of things that take less. Yeah, this is very confused here. I also had this leg here. I don't know. I don't like that. This one was just something like I was doing yesterday, but I said, okay, I'm gonna put a dragon on top of the box, and there's a ladder here. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, do you know where I could possibly find cheap airline tickets? No. Yes, a few months ago, or a few years ago, probably. It depends on where you want to go. There is no cheap airline ticket. It's just there is just buy them months ahead if you want to save money. But there's no place that's gonna give you cheap airline tickets, because they're not gonna sell them to you at a lower price than the actual fare. And the problem is that you still have to pay like the airport taxes. That's the most of the cost. The only way to get cheap tickets is to buy them ahead of schedule, like months, 6 months maybe. But it depends on the trip, like where you go, because if you like, I bought tickets for Japan. Even if I had bought them 2 months before, it wouldn't have changed anything, because that's the price. That's the lowest price that we'll ever get, about $1,000 for back and forth. So there is no way, like, if you're going overseas, I would expect, like, even from California, when I went to California from Japan, it was about $2,000, I think. No, maybe it was 1,000. You know what? I'm not remembering. I would have to check, but it was pretty expensive. And it was obviously not first class. When did I get mine for Japan? A month ago? More than a month ago, actually. It was 1 month and 5 days ahead. And I still spent about over 1,000 euros for back and forth. So. This does not include all of the costs of extra stuff you gotta do, like buying bus tickets and whatnot, taxis if you have to get a taxi, hotels if you have to stay in a hotel. So it is not a joke to travel across continents. And imagine if it fails. It's not like you can get another ticket for the next day, because it's going to cost you a lung. Honestly. Round trip to Tokyo for me would be $1,400, says Chase. Yeah, that's pretty much what they cost. I actually, see, the thing is that I would have to go to the place where my kids live. I would have to go to Oita, but it was 1,500 euros, and I didn't want to do it, and so I bought it for Fukuoka, which is 2 hours and a half drive away, which means I'm gonna have to pay the highway fee and the gas to get there. So it's another $50 to $100 probably. I would spend less if I went to. I would have spent less by going just to Tokyo probably, because it's Tokyo. But to go to where I have to go, it's another flight. So I'm gonna take three planes. Yeah. No, it's not a direct flight. It's not a direct flight. I'm going to Rome first, and then I'm going to Tokyo, and then I'm going to the place where I have to go. That's why it's that expensive. But unless you're very lucky, there's not going to be a direct flight. Yeah, like if you live in Rome, or London, or Paris, or Frankfurt, then yeah, there are direct flights to Tokyo if you gotta go to Tokyo, but Tokyo, Osaka probably also. Not much more than that. It was impossible to go anywhere else but Tokyo with the airplane directly until a few months ago. Because it was the only airport that was set up for COVID testing, screening, and so on. And if they found you guilty, they would arrest you and put you in a quarantine hotel with other sick people, even if you're not sick. How awesome is that? What a liberal country. It's a country of freedom. Oh wait, that's America, not Japan. Or it used to be, at least. I haven't been on a plane in years. That might be an uncomfortable experience then. I'm living on planes nowadays. I'm sadly very accustomed to it. Even if I don't want to. I would recommend take a shorter trip first before flying for 12 hours straight, because that's rough. Trust me, it's very rough. Especially if you're not one of those lucky people who can sleep on planes, and I'm not one of those. It's gonna be very draining. Very, very, very draining. I am expecting to be very drained until at least Sunday, if not beyond that. If I make it, if I'm alive, obviously. If not, I guess light a candle for me. I don't know. Plus, I want to deal with those TSA dipshits touching. Oh, well, I mean, then don't take a flight because it's going to happen. You're going to have to... I mean, depending on the country you go to, there are even more security protocols. I remember when I flew back to Italy for a while with my wife in 2018, I had the pencil case in my bag, and I had to open it. I had to open it, take out the pencils, all of them, spread them on the counter there, and show them they were actual pencils. That was very annoying. That was in China though, because I had a layover in Shanghai. Very annoying. It wasn't always like that. I don't know. I don't mind it. Honestly, I would rather have that than planes crashing on buildings, especially if I'm either in the building or on the plane. So I don't really mind about that. The only problem is that with the added layers of security, say maybe you're traveling, maybe for some reason your temperature is elevated, they might stop you because your temperature is elevated, even if you're not sick. That is the most annoying part for me. Especially when traveling with kids, because kids, they can get sick like instantly. And so that can be a problem if you're traveling and, hey, wait a minute, your kid has got 100 degrees temperature, Fahrenheit that is, or 37 whatever Celsius. And I'm gonna stop you. You cannot go anywhere. You're gonna be quarantined in this place, and that's kind of a nightmare that I have. Like to be stopped and quarantined in some place. But it does happen. So yeah, and the bottles too. Oh, but this was before COVID anyway. The thermal scanners were introduced before COVID. I think at least 4 or 5 years before, in the local airports that I have visited. At least. Anyway, all right. I think we're gonna stop here. Cheese, please send me your file later so that tomorrow I can 3D paint over it, 3D sculpt over it. It's just some dopey turtle with tentacles. Whatever. I walked in with like a can of some drink, only half of it, and they told me to trash it. Oh yeah, you gotta trash them, absolutely. You cannot go in with drinks that are, or bottles of any kind of liquid that's more than 100 milliliters, here at least. So it's very annoying because you gotta buy the water again later, and it's gonna be very expensive because it's inside the like waiting area. Anyway, okay. Stop here. Let's stop here. We got some nice, interesting sketches in. Yeah, pretty happy with them. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with the, I guess, results of the Kaiju challenge. We'll see, and then I don't know, maybe we'll keep sketching if that doesn't take much. And then we're gonna be, I'm gonna be away for some time. I don't know how long. Hopefully not too long. All right. Thanks for watching again, and I'll